Hello there. Welcome back to coverage here at Grand Prix, Oklahoma City. I'm Marshall Sutcliffe. I'm in the booth with Jacob Van Lunen. We're ready here for round number 7. We've got an attentive judge there standing in front of the camera, though kindly moved out of the way. And we're ready here. Sam Pardee versus Corey Burkhart. Two excellent modern players and also just full-time professional Magic players are about to go at it. This should be a real treat to watch, especially given what we see from Sam Pardee here. Jake, look at that. He leads things off with Urza's Mine. He's on Tron.
Yeah, I believe he's playing more of an Eldrazi Tron type deck, though.
Ah, okay. So this is not Tron.
No, I actually saw more than one 5-0 list this week being played by Sam Pardee on the internet.
Oh, on Magic Online?
Yeah, so he's been killing people with this deck all week.
Uh-oh. How do you like Power Plant Mine with a map on the battlefield here on turn 2?
I like it a lot.
You're loving it.
Oh, yeah.
Every second of it. This is not a good spot here for Burkhart as Sam Pardee, he's going to have Tron next turn. Now, he won't be able to fully utilize it just yet, but he's close. And, you know, this is a type of deck that can put out a lot of really hard to deal with threats. Wow, look at that from Burkhart. Of course, he's playing his signature Grixis control deck, puts both cards on top of Serum Visions. He's going to go Kolaghan's Command into Terminate.
It's pretty nice.
Wow, and look at this. He even gets to play Tastiger the Golden Fang as well. So both players really kind of doing exactly what they want to be doing.
Now, Corey's deck is very controlling. And it's pretty impressive and speaks to the power level of the format that, you know, an unbelievably controlling version of a deck can be playing things like 4/5s on the third turn.
Mm-hmm. There it is.
Yeah, Tasker the Golden Fang. I mean, this is going to be
No. I was looking at the other side.
Oh, you're looking at the tower?
Yeah. Horrible white bordered Urza's Tower hits the battlefield.
I kind of like them with white borders.
Oh, Jake, come on. We got to present.
It's like
this is like being a parent, you know? One voice, one stance, right?
Okay. I like that. Yeah.
Not while we're on the air, Jake.
Yeah.
He's going to go for Chalice of the Void for 1 here, which is going to shut off quite a few cards, actually, from Corey's list. Chalice of the Void for 1 is a major problem for him. You know, his cantrips, Thought Scour, Serum Visions, those are gone. Lightning Bolt, see you later. He's got one of those in his hand. And he even plays some counter spells in there as well. The Spell Snares of the world and such, and they're all going to get shut down by that Chalice. And look at this, Endbringer and Matter Reshaper.
On the same turn.
For Pardee, yeah, just casually dropping both of them.
Did Corey leave the Kolaghan's Command on the top of his library that he had seen earlier?
Yes.
Yes, that's going to be quite good.
He has that and the Terminate coming. And you can tell that he's just trying to jam here.
Yeah. I mean, this Kolaghan's Command can clean up Sam's board.
He can use it to take down the Chalice as well as the Matter Reshaper?
Yeah, you can deal 2 to the Matter Reshaper while also killing the Chalice, which is
pretty good, yeah.
Kolaghan's
Command, I'm a fan of that card, man.
Oh, yeah. Especially when you're playing Snapcaster Mage in your deck, it just feels so unfair to return the Snapcaster Mage to your hand with it. Seems like you just have like an endless stream of action. Sam's deck, though, not failing to provide the goods here. It looks like he's got access to a lot of threats right here on his 5th turn.
How about another copy of Endbringer? First one got terminated. Second one hits the battlefield. And he's going to go ahead and get in there with the Matter Reshaper at a pretty comfortable 12 life, but you never really feel that comfortable even against this Grixis control deck. You think, oh, it's a control deck. What are they going to do? Well, they're going to bolt you.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to Kolaghan's Command you, and then they're going to Snapcaster it, and you're going to be dead. So Sam Pardee, even at this point, will be keeping an eye on his life total pretty closely.
I mean, when these control decks go Bolt, Snapcaster, Bolt, and then attack you, that's 8 damage seemingly out of nowhere.
Right.
From a very pure control deck.
But wait, there's more. He's got a Ghost Quarter, which is going to give him 4 mana available, and he's going to use it to cast a Walking Ballista for 2. And the pressure is mounting insanely heavily on Corey Burkhart at this point. to the point that he's actually going to point the 2 damage at the ballista. He considers that a better target than the Matter Reshaper, and you can see why.
Absolutely.
Reshaper might just replace itself, where the ballista is a major issue if Sam gets to untap with it. Wow, look at this. And Corey actually having the answers. He's got the Dismember as well. He gets to chip in for another 4 damage. Whoa.
Yeah, and with that Bolt and Kolaghan's Command in his hand also, he's doing a lot of work pressuring the life totals here.
Yeah, speaking of pressure, by the way, Corey's mana is under a bit of pressure. With just 1 red mana source available, he does have to sort of choose what he wants to do with the Bolt and the Kolaghan's Command, or if he wants to combine it with the Snapcaster Mage in his hand. He may have to decide. One of the lines that you described that we see is Bolt you, Snapcaster Mage, Bolt you. He doesn't have that line available to him with his mana. Ooh. Reality Smasher has hit the battlefield now for Sam Pardee, and we've just got a full-on race situation. Interestingly, look at this attack. It's almost lethal.
Yeah, just shy here.
Yeah, just attacking for 8. Here's Snapcaster Mage. What is he going to do?
Imagine he's just going to terminate this Reality Smasher.
Just take his medicine?
Yeah, just discard
The Bolt?
probably.
Okay.
And what's nice about this, too, is that he'll be able to trade the Snapcaster Mage for the Matter Reshaper. And in doing so, that makes the Kolaghan's Command be able to return Snapcaster Mage in the
And
graveyard.
get that loop going?
Well, actually, interestingly enough, with Sam at 8, that Kolaghan's Command is lethal with the 6 points of power on the table. So
it is.
he may not even want to do
He
that.
doesn't want to. No, he's just going to take it and go down to 6. Really no rush. Here's a Walking Ballista. How much is that for? For 3. That will save Sam Pardee, though. That was a key play. It was the last card in his hand. He needed something. It's actually just a beautiful blocker here as well.
It does exactly what he needs a card to do here.
That's right.
And interestingly enough, he's kind of forcing the issue on Corey here.
Yeah, how much mana does Sam have now?
Yeah, because Sam has access to 6, 9, 10, 11 mana.
Damage. So 11 mana, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, if he plays another land, even if it just makes 1 mana, he can put 3 more counters in the Walking Ballista, and Corey's life total is 6.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that right now Corey, he cannot be defensive, because if he chooses to do so, then Sam can just dump a bunch of counters into that Walking Ballista.
Right.
But also being offensive is dangerous. The Kolaghan's Command can kill the Walking Ballista, important to note. Can also kill the Matter Reshaper all in one fell swoop.
Sam Pardee's just going to go ahead and block Walking Ballista on Snapcaster Mage. Take 4 and go to 4. Get this thing back and destroy target artifact or do 2 or whatever, it didn't matter. That's going to knock Corey down to 3, but give him back a Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah, so actually Corey only goes to 5
you're
here
right.
because there was 2 damage on the Walking Ballista from
That's
Sam
right.
having blocked the Snapcaster Mage.
Of course. So he's actually at 5, which is critical.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, this is about as
Major
close as they
difference.
get. Now Sam has to sit back in his chair a little bit and think about the types of cards that he can draw off of this Mind Stone.
I mean, he could draw something like a Reality Smasher.
Yeah, Corey Burkhart's playing with his hand face up. It's just Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah, and that blocks this Matter Reshaper. So Sam access to 7, 8 mana here. Gonna go a little less after he.
Yeah, he's got that Seagate Wreckage as well. And he really has to be careful about, how and when he decides to spend his mana. It looks like he's just going to go ahead and tap the Ghost Quarter to sacrifice the Mind Stone. He found a land. It's Cavern of Souls, though. Name Eldrazi. Draw a card.
Find
he hit Reality Smasher off the top of the library. Sam Pardee windmills it onto the table and quickly attacks with both creatures because he knows that it's lethal. That's exactly what the doctor ordered. The old Mind Stone into Reality Smasher for Sam Pardee, just like he drew it up.
Yeah, that's exactly what he needed in that spot. Unbelievable.
Oh, boy. That's how you do it right there. Let's take a quick live look in here. Pat Cox playing Grixis Death Shadow at 6-0. He's playing against numero uno, Seth Manfield, who tweeted earlier, if you can't beat him, join him, and he put a picture of 3 Tron lands on his Twitter feed, and it looks like he just won game number 1. I didn't get to see all the details there, but I did see an Ugin on the side for Seth Manfield, which, usually you win the game if you resolve a card like that.
Yeah, and it happens way too quick, I feel like. They always have it on turn 4.
Oh, yeah. Wait, you get a turn... They have it on turn 3 for me. Tron?
Ugin?
Oh, I thought you meant Tron.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's usually Karn and then Ugin for me. That's when I play.
Yeah. They play the Karn on turn 3, and then they play the Ugin on turn 4.
Turn 3 Karn, turn 4 Ugin. That's my life. That's.
So I haven't played much Tron,
That's
and most of my friends have not played much Tron. But Brad calls me last week when he started playing with the deck, and he was like, "Dude, I just won a game after I mulliganed to 3." I was like, "No." He's like, "I did." He's like, "I cast Karn in the 3rd turn. My opponent lost. This doesn't seem very fair."
It's pretty lucky.
He runs pretty good, some might say. Well, even. That was about as tight as a game could be, that game between Corey and Sam right there. Every step along the way.
Look at Sam. You know what he's saying right now? It's exactly how I drew it up. I knew I was going to draw the Reality Smasher. I had faith. Heart of the cards, buddy. I knew it was coming.
I really hope that Corey said something like unreal.
That is not Corey's style.
Yeah. It's not at all. Interestingly enough, though, Corey's Grixis control deck, something that he's played quite a bit of in Modern. He really likes these types of decks. I believe Guillaume Wafo-Tapa actually 5-0'd a league last week playing Grixis control with Cruel Ultimatum. I also saw Gabe Nassif streaming Grixis control with Cruel Ultimatum in Modern.
I think he's doing that literally right now.
I think Cruel
Shout
Ultimatum
out to the yellow hat.
Yeah, kinder to the yellow hat than perhaps anybody else ever.
Well, he, like Sam Pardee, knows how to draw it up, right? What did you need? I need a Reality Smasher. I needed a Cruel Ultimatum.
The way he did it was brutal, though. I was at that tournament in Kyoto when that happened. I don't know if everybody knows what I'm talking about here, but
yeah, why don't you give him some reference?
Yeah, Gabe Nassif, one of the best players who's ever lived. He was playing a Cruel control deck.
5-color deck. Control, baby. I remember that deck. Yeah. Standard. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful deck at Pro Tour Kyoto. This is probably 2009, maybe 2010.
It was 2009. Yeah.
And he's playing, and he's dead on the following turn, and he's waiting. He hasn't drawn his card yet. It's his upkeep. He's untapped his lands. And he starts organizing his lands. And he says to his opponent, he says, "I'm organizing my Cruel Ultimatum mana." And then he puts the card for the turn down in front of
Jones,
him.
by the way, on the other side, who just can sit there and only look.
Yeah.
He has no option.
He rubs the card a little bit on the table, flips it over, and it's Cruel Ultimatum.
If you haven't watched that, you have to go back. I remember I got kind of lucky because that was one of the if not the very first tournament I ever watched on the internet.
It's a good one to watch.
Right, and I saw that moment, and I'm like, wow, this is super fun to watch. And that was an all-time moment. That was one of the top 10 coverage moments or whatever of all time. It was super fun, but I just remember being like, wow, this is cool. Like, that was also the tournament that Gabe played against Luis Scott Vargas in the finals, beat him.
Yeah.
And they had just one of the craziest games ever there. Sam Pardee getting a little frisky with the card draw. Makes me think he might be taking a mulligan here.
Yeah. He's a looker.
Yeah. Corey looks like he's kept.
But Grixis control. I mean, it is still a real deck. It's odd because sometimes it's hard to imagine a pure control deck like
this. They got snacks down there?
Whoa.
Jeez.
It looked like they were some type of sour gummy snack also.
Oh, my God, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Come on, Corey, don't hold out on me, buddy. What are we, 50 feet away from them right now? How rude.
Hey, you know the sour watermelons? I think that's what it was.
Yeah,
I'm about that too.
Probably better for those to stay away from me.
Same, especially if I need to have a dunk contest with Corbin Hostler at some point.
Oh, God. I don't know if I can watch that. All right, looks like we got a keep here from Pardee. He's got Eldrazi Tron. He's playing against Grixis Control in the hands of Corey Burkhart, and he had a very timely and very nice top deck to win the game. Set it up beautifully and got there. He also had options did he not hit. It wasn't all or nothing. That was the way he could win on the spot. But he did have a block and, probably a draw step coming or something.
Yeah, but the next draw step, I think his outs were
constrained significantly.
Yeah, it might have been harder to kill his opponent with that because Corey would have been able to Snapcaster the Cold Guns command on the following turn and eat up his draw step. Right?
Agreed. Oh, God. Now, this is unbelievable. BJ, who's doing our graphics and life totals down there, he got one of the sour watermelon things. He's bragging about it in chat. It's just shocking behavior, honestly.
Deplorable.
So, slow start here, right? I mean, we've got some action. It looks like Sam Pardee, he missed his land drop for the turn? Is that what I'm seeing? He went Expedition map into Relic, but no land?
Yeah, and he mulliganed on the draw, had a one-lander, probably had the Expedition map as well, and failed to find that second land. And Fulminator Mage is pretty good here.
Oh, no. Kiss that tower. Goodbye, Sam Pardee. Like, we might see a concession here, right? Like, if he just bricks on land. Oh, hello.
It's not the worst one to find.
Eldrazi Temple. He will not be able to activate the Expedition map with that. But a glimmer of hope emerges.
Yeah, and, it's an interesting question here whether or not he cracks the Relic this turn because... that does open up his hand to more cards that could be hit by discard spells by Corey, but at the same time prevents Corey from using the Delve mechanic with Tasker the Golden Fang.
Yeah, and he did in fact crack it. He missed again, and then he missed again. Yikes. It's getting a little bit ugly. And you can see that Corey Burkhart says, well, while the shields are down and you're dirtling around, I'm going to start beating down. He plays Snapcaster Mage, no targets in the yard, just ran it out.
I like it. I think that is one of the things that happens much less often than it actually should.
But Corey's hand is very awkward here, too.
Super reactive.
He's got Damnation. He has Anger of the Gods. Like, ugh. Not the kind of stuff he wants to see right now.
I mean, it is wise, though, for him to have sideboarded in the way that he did. I don't think many people might have sideboarded that way. They might have sideboarded specifically against what they saw in the first game and not had the foresight to understand that a card like Hanger Backwalker would be present for games 2 and 3.
Which is in Sam's hand, by the way. Wait, what was that off the top there for him? A Search for Escanta?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Search for Escanta has been very good in Modern.
It's looked good, man.
Yeah.
You weren't kidding when you said you were really impressed by it. It has been business.
Simply as, ramp, card selection, and then essentially a win condition. Because once you get to the point of the game where you're just, tutoring up cryptic commands over and over again, then, it's almost impossible for your opponent to win at that stage.
Look what we have here. Sam Pardee. He's going for a Cavern of Souls. He's just sidestepping the whole notion of getting Tron going. What do you make of that?
I think that because he's 2 pieces short of Tron, he doesn't want to just set himself up for the 4-outer to hit it in the following 2 turns, especially when he knows that Corey has Fulminator Mages in these post-boarded games. And that leads me to believe that he probably has, something like a Matter Reshaper in his hand. He's going to get to use all this mana this turn.
Ooh, how about a Thought Knot Seer? It's going to die to Dismember, but the trigger's still going to go up. He draws his card, and then now Sam's going to get one here. What are we looking at? Cryptic Command Damnation, Anger. And then he's got and then he's got this little nice package of Snapcaster Mage Lightning Bolt Terminate.
Wow.
It's a nice hand.
That is a pretty nice hand.
Traditionally speaking, people tend to go for the Snapcaster Mage when given options, just because a lot of these cards can simply be flashed back by it anyway, so you're kind of taking away 2 cards. Yeah, but he may not have the luxury.
Yeah, I think Snapcaster and Terminate are both reasonable choices here. I think that Sam is really kind of priced into trying to win this game specifically by drawing a chain of Reality Smashers to cast on the Cavern of Souls.
Okay, and he did take Terminate. Remember, it's exiled as well, so does not work kindly with that Snapcaster Mage in hand. Wow, another Cryptic off the top, but still no land here for Burkhart. If he can find a blue mana source, though, he has multiple Cryptic commands against an opponent on nothing. Yes, the Cavern of Souls prevents the counterpart, but he can still interact favorably.
Oh, absolutely. He can just bounce whatever it is that Sam plays back to his hand and draw a card over and over while he beats him down.
Exactly.
Interesting to note that this Search for Azcanta can flip on his next turn if he fires off a bolt at Sam or at something that Sam plays.
That is interesting.
So he could just go ahead and use that bolt and then turn that Search for Azcanta into an extra land.
There's a bolt target.
A nice one, too.
Yeah, Walking Ballista, get that off the battlefield, no problem. I mean, I think Corey might have considered just firing it upstairs anyway, but now he's actually got good targets for it. Of course, Walking Ballista is a good magic card, and it's going to take down a Snapcaster Mage with it, which is currently Corey's only form of direct pressure. So, interesting spot.
Yeah. And Corey could also use Snapcaster Mage with the Thought Scour in his graveyard in order to get to 4 mana on the following turn with that Search for Azcanta. All he really has to do is get one more card into his graveyard, and then he's got the double Cryptic online.
He's going to go for Bolt on the Matter Reshaper here. Oh, no. He hit, but he didn't. He didn't Hangerback Walker. He can just put it in his hand.
Yeah. He has the choice to do that.
Right, which is fine. He drew a card off of it. He'll take it. But, you really want immediate impact when you're this far behind. Now, the good news for Pardee, though, is that he's not... he's at 14, facing 2 power. It's just he's had such a hard time getting his mana under him.
Yeah, he had multiple turns where he had nothing in play. Well, he had an Expedition map and a Relic, but no lands.
This is interesting. Corey's going to attack with Snapcaster, and Sam's going to take it. Now Sam has a place to put that mana if it isn't casting a bunch of stuff.
So, access to 5 mana for Eldrazi this turn, or 4 mana otherwise. Could put a counter on the Walking Ballista if he so desired. A lot of interesting stuff that could happen with Cryptic Command here, though. And Corey could even return his own Snapcaster Mage to his hand in response to an attempt to use the Walking Ballista.
Attack for 1 with the Walking Ballista. Corey's at 8. Now what?
See, normally he'd be happy to play a Hangerback Walker here, but because he knows about those Anger the Gods in Corey's hand, it makes it much less powerful than it would be otherwise.
So he's decided to kind of hedge here and just play 1 for 1.
I like it.
What does he do with the rest of the mana?
He may end up just... He could Ghost Quarter the Search for Azcanta, the Sunken Ruin, rather, but I don't know if he's going to need to right now because I think Corey's not really going to be activating that land for some time, maybe not even for the remainder of the game.
Here's Cryptic Command from Burkhart. Remember, the Cavern of Souls is naming Eldrazi here, so he actually can counter Hangerback Walker, and he decides to do so.
I mean, when your opponent has a Cavern of Souls in play and you get an opportunity to use your Cryptic Command as a 2-for-1, it's usually a good idea to take it, especially when you're generally ahead, which Corey is at this point.
Hangerback Walker number 2. But Corey's got that Anger of the Gods in his hand. It looks pretty tempting here.
It looks like it could be quite nice. Of course, it does put shields down so that he would be unable to use Cryptic Command to counter something on the following turn.
That's right. But he knows that there's a lot of some things that he just can't counter anyway.
Absolutely. Yeah, this certainly seems like a situation where you'd want to be casting Anger of the Gods. I don't think you're really going to get much better of a situation in the remainder of this game, the way things are playing out.
Sam just immediately takes it, drops down to 10. Okay, here's Anger of the Gods.
Yeah, I like
And
it.
this is a big moment for Pardee because his hand is stacked with Reality Smashers.
Were they Endbringers or Reality Smashers? Because if he's got Reality Smashers for days, then...
They might have been Endbringers. Let's find out. We will... well, we'll see this turn one way or the other.
Yeah.
If he doesn't do anything, they're Endbringers.
Yeah.
And if Reality starts getting smashed, then, well, we know the answer to that.
Reality Smashers really, really good.
Yeah. It's no charging monster sword, but it's fine. Reality Smasher.
Bang.
Well, he had one at least, so in it comes 5U. Not so fast as Corey Burkhart. What is he lining up here?
So he'll have one
You'll have 1 mana,
mana.
and he's going to use Dismember.
Okay. So still taking 5 through that interaction, going down to 2 here.
He's got to be worried about another copy of Reality Smasher here, right?
I'm sure, but...
Maybe he just can't do anything about it anyway.
yeah, I mean, he does have the Cryptic, so he could always, tap it down and not discard a card or return it to Sam's hand and discard a card.
Then he can use Damnation.
Mm-hmm. So it does look like Sam just has like a never-ending parade of Reality Smashers.
Okay.
Of course, it's hard because they both kind of have that arm on the left side of the artwork that when they're stacked up, it's hard to tell which one's which.
Yeah, I agree. But nevertheless, the parade continues. And like you said, Corey's now going to have to use Cryptic Command to tap down the Reality Smasher and draw himself a card. No, he's going to return Snapcaster Mage to his hand. Going for that value. That is often better.
It seems like a very reasonable line here, especially considering that he might be thinking about casting this Damnation this turn, and by doing it that way, he gets to keep the Snapcaster in his hand and not lose it to the Damnation. Though the parade of reality continues. And this game has been somewhat incredible. Like, if you remember back, like, on Corey Burkhart's third turn, he cast a Fulminator Mage and killed Sam's only land.
Sam had no lands.
None.
Now look what he's done with just 4 lands. He's cast back-to-back Reality Smashers over the course of the last 2 turns. And he's got Corey down to a paltry 2. Corey's looking at his hand like, if I cast this Damnation and you have another Reality Smasher, I just lose. If you have another Walking Ballista, could be the game also.
And, Sam's...
Oh, there's Walking Ballista off the top of the library for Pardee.
Wow.
What is he doing? It's just perfect draws for Sam Pardee. He literally has no lands in play on turn 3, and he just calmly works his way back up and takes this win. Wow, that was really impressive stuff.
It was unbelievably impressive. And Corey's draw was reactive to the extent that, he couldn't put enough pressure on to end the game while Sam was floundering with no mana.
No lands. What
And
the
him
heck?
searching up that Cavern of Souls, by the way, was the difference that game. When we
It
were
was.
like,
Yeah.
huh, that's an interesting card to search for there. And it's those tiny little edges that allow you to win these games that are seemingly unwinnable. And Sam knows how to find them.
By the way, Tron lands sweeping our 2 matches here. Seth Manfield takes 2-0 win over Pat Cox with his more traditional Red Green Tron list, and that is going to do it for the live coverage this round. We're going to be back in just a few minutes with Time Walk Magic. Don't go anywhere. Oklahoma City. This is Jacob Van Loon and Marshall Sutcliffe. Thank you so much for joining us for Modern here from Oklahoma. We've got Time Walk Magic for you lined up now. And we've got Gregory Orange playing against Julian John. And if you've been watching Magic for a while and you've ever seen Greg Orange, the Citrus Assassin, play, he loves himself a control deck. And that's, in fact, what he's brought to the table here. What are you seeing from that?
It looks
this
like...
one.
Oh, this is an interesting control deck. I really like the fact that he has Crucible of Worlds in his main deck.
Just one.
I mean, that's
a
card you don't really see very often, though.
What lands is he taking advantage of that with? 2 Ghost Quarter, fetches.
Yeah, Field of Ruins also.
Field of Ruins.
Yeah, and he also gets
Cool.
recurable threats via Celestial Colonnade.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then his opponent?
So his opponent is playing Tron.
Ooh, old school Tron and Emrakul in there, too.
Yeah, I mean, Tron may be the deck of the weekend. It looks like we're headed in that direction.
I feel that wave for sure.
Oh, yeah.
All right, are we ready?
I feel a wave coming over me.
Okay, we're ready. Let's head down. It's time for Time Walk Magic here in round 7. All right, let's see. Greg Orange versus Julian John. We just mentioned this blue-white control for Greg. I know I saw some rumblings on Twitter about the possibility of playing Celestial Colonnades and doing well with it this weekend. In the meantime, that is power plant into mine for Julian John. We could see turn 3 Urzatron here.
It's just the natural.
Just good old-fashioned.
And I mean, Greg only has a negate and 2 mana leaks to interact with a possibly 7-mana spell that Julian...
that is thin. Really? That's the only counter magic he has?
Yeah, 1 negate and 2 mana leaks. As far as 2 mana counter spells go, did it work in this
Does he
spot?
have it? Oh, he has it! Oh my god, turn 3 Karn liberated. Yeah. Is there an answer from Greg? Game. Wow, that's just it.
That's a game.
That game's literally over. It just ended. What in the world? Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean...
All right, well, let's try this again.
Yeah,
Greg says that wasn't particularly fun. By the way, Stone Rain costs 3 mana.
Yeah. So I mean,
that was just a Stone Rain.
Yeah, all it was a Stone Rain that leaves you with a giant Planeswalker in play. Because even if Greg had Stone Rain against Julian John's land deck, it would have been good enough.
Format?
Yeah.
This is just song and dance. All right, let's try this again. Yeah. Greg's got Serum Visions, number 2.
Yeah, back in 1994, 1995, they weren't thinking too much when they made these Urza lands. They were just...
I suppose not. Island number 2 here for Greg. Passes the turn back to Julian.
Well, it looks like we're going to see Tron on turn 3 again. Well, this time Julian, because he's on the play, will at least have a little more time to put together some sort of plan. Hopefully.
Yeah, that's your theory, isn't it?
I mean, he's played multiple copies of Serum Visions. He should at least have 1 card that can interact well at this point in the game.
But Julian's just on turn 3 Tron again.
Well, I mean,
like
negates,
he's just
ceremonious rejections, things like that.
Okay.
Like he could. Sometimes your opponent has turn 3 Tron and you still win.
And you could.
It happens.
What kind of a wild claim is this? That's never happened to me.
I do it all the time.
Oh, wow.
I do it probably about like 20% of the time.
I need to get learned. That is not how things pan out for the Marshulk over here. I just go, it's fine. I've got 2 counters. They're not going to be able to do anything. And then it doesn't. Well, let's see how it goes here for Greg.
Well, sometimes I play combo decks too.
I see. Yeah, you're smart. What if he just goes Tron land, Karn, and it just resolves?
That would be so brutal. All right.
What are you doing?
7 mana.
Oh, big pump fake there from
it.
Julian John. He got me in the air. I'm not going to lie.
Same. Okay.
That is significantly less impressive than Karn Liberated. Chromatic Star. What does he want to do with the green mana that he made?
Yeah, perhaps he's going to play an Ancient Stirrings
Probably.
here. He still has, 1 mana floating, then access to 5 more mana. He's looking at his top 5 cards and putting 1 in his hand. And he can still do something that costs 6 mana. This is turn 3.
He gets to put a colorless one in his hand. There it is. The Big Daddy. A turn late this time, but let's see if he has a threat for now.
Hey, maybe it's just like a worm coil engine or something.
Something
like
pedestrian
that.
like that. Yeah. Another expedition map. And but wait, there's more mode here. He's just emptying his hand.
The affinity draw.
This is basically just the red carpet laid out for Karn next turn. Crucible of Worlds here from Julian John.
See, I was speaking earlier about how excited I was about Crucible in Greg's deck. It seems better when you can cast Crucible of Worlds by only tapping 1 land.
I do like that better. Although, what in the world is it going to do here?
Not much yet.
Just nothing, right?
Nothing yet.
Wow, Greg Orange misses his land drop, passes the turn back to Julian, still presumably sitting on some counter spells. At least if you're in Julian's seat, that's what you'd be thinking.
Oh, I would assume so. I would assume that his hand is like 3 negates and 4 ceremonious projections. All right, is he going to go for Karn?
We're going to get liberated here, Julian. Uh-oh.
8.
All right, he's going to go for World Breaker, and Greg Orange is going to scoop him up. He just has no answers to anything. What in the world?
Yeah, I mean, the thing about World Breaker there, though, is that there's just nothing he can do, right? Because it triggers on cast, and then even if he has a counterspell for it,
He can get it back.
Julian just has this like stream of World Breakers to just, kill every single land forever.
So
Or
you're
just have a
saying
5
that
power guy play.
Tron might be the deck of the weekend so far.
Shaping up to